Hi, this is Vidya Gita, and today we are going to talk about CPR. And why am I talking about it? Because I did a course on that and I found it worthy, and I thought it forms my duty to share it with you guys and everybody, not only those in medical profession, everybody should know this, so that we do not know whom we are going to help one day, nor who is going to help us one day. And so let us be prepared as human beings, and so I'm here, and hope you would find a certified training center, and you would go and get trained in the CPR and find the difference. So supposing we are in a crowded area, or like a movie theater, or a shopping mall, or anything for that matter, and we find somebody collapsing. We go there and we find that the person is unconscious, and three possibilities are there. Either he is unconscious and he is breathing, he is unconscious, he isn't breathing, he is unconscious, he isn't breathing, and there is no pulse as well. So what are we going to do in these three situations? In the first situation, he is unconscious and he is breathing. That means we have to put him in recovery position and seek for help and call the ambulance, and get him admitted in a hospital emergency setup as soon as possible. And the second scenario is he is unconscious, he isn't breathing, and the third one is he is unconscious, he isn't breathing, and he has no pulse as well. So in these two conditions, we have to initiate both chest compressions as well as rescue breathing. Though in the first case pulse hasn't stopped, but still there are chances that pulse get diminished soon, and so to avoid that, it's better if we start compressions at the earlier. And the 2010 American Heart Association guidelines also state that order of ABC has been changed to CAB, that is first circulation. For that we have compressions, and then check on that whether the airways are open, and then breathing activity is going on. And so let's begin with cardiac arrest. So that is what happens, and a person is unconscious, he is not breathing, and his pulse has stopped. That means he is in cardiac arrest. And what do we mean by cardiac arrest? Means there is no cardiac output, there is no pumping of the heart. Heart isn't pumping, and so blood isn't going from the heart, blood isn't circulating, and the brain doesn't get blood. And what happens if brain doesn't get blood? It is going to cause irreversible damage to the brain. And how long can the brain survive without receiving blood? For 10 minutes, for 15 minutes, for half an hour? No, the answer is just 5 minutes. The maximum time the brain can live without oxygen is 5 minutes, and so we do not have much time in our hands. Just 3 to 5 minutes is the maximum time we get, and in that we have to start compressions. So that is why they changed the order from ABC to CAB, so that compressions aren't delayed to the person. And so we'll see into that cardiac aspect. Cardiac arrest, and by definition, cardiac arrest means sudden and complete loss of cardiac output. It can be due to asystole, that is electrical activity in the ventricles got stopped, or it can be due to VFib, the ventricular fibrillation or ventricular tachycardia. And how can we manage a cardiac arrest condition? And by the way, what do we mean by heart attack? Is it the same like cardiac arrest? No. In heart attack, that is a myocardial infarction, the blood supply to the heart muscle is reduced, and pumping heart is still pumping. So is the case with congestive heart failure. Heart is pumping, though the cardiac output is a bit low. And coming to the management of patients with cardiac arrest, and these patients are actually unconscious, they are not going to tell us anything, and so we have two methods. One is the basic life support, and the other, actually one method in 2 steps: basic life support measures and advanced life support measures. And the basic life support measure is that is CAB. We have to initiate compressions at the earliest, and we have to look whether the airway is open and whether the person is breathing, and we'll go into the details a bit later. And regarding ALS, and we also have that AED or automated external defibrillator. It corrects the rhythm of the heart, at least it tries to correct the rhythm of the heart. And then in ALS, that is advanced life support measures, that should be done in an emergency care setup, and the person or the patient has to be intubated with an endotracheal tube to inflate or to ventilate his lungs, and he has to be given IV drugs so that his circulation is on, like circulation gets a need. And what is the pulse that we are going to palpate in cardiac arrest? Is it the peripheral pulses? No, it is the carotid artery pulse. Why? Because even in a condition called shock, the peripheral artery pulses get lost. So this is the best area to do look for the pulse. And how is it done? 2 fingers, and we have to locate the trachea, and from the trachea we go sidewards, and then in between the trachea and the muscles of the neck there is a groove, and there we can palpate the carotid artery. So regarding the CPR procedure, regarding recovery position and all, we'll deal in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye. Thank you.